Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The LoDown. My name is Lo, aka NeroTheHero. I will be your host as usual. And today on The LoDown, we're going to be talking about small YouTube channels. So this is actually a really interesting subject. And we're going to be asking a few different questions this evening, morning, night, whatever. First of all, we're going to be asking what actually is a small channel? What differentiates a small channel from a large channel, etc., etc. Because you can have a small channel with, a small number of subscribers and get a large number of views, or it can be vice versa. You can have a large number of subscribers and get really not a lot of views. So yeah, there's a lot of different factors that go into that sort of thing. So we're going to be discussing that. We're also going to be talking about what place, if at all, do small channels have in the YouTube realm. With all the big networks coming in and throwing their content to the stream, a lot of small channels feel like it's becoming increasingly more difficult in order to become noticed and therefore grow. So lastly, we're also just going to be giving some just kind of, it's going to be small channel advice, good advice for helping small channels grow. But in general, it's going to be just kind of general advice on creating and promoting good quality content. So we're going to save that for last because that's the juiciest bit of what we have for you this evening. So let's turn it over to our first guest speaker, Cryptic Stevie, and let's see what he has to say. Hey Cryptics, you're on the show. Thanks once again for being here. So what are your thoughts on small channels?
Hey Nero, it's Cryptics, and thank you for having me here again.
Of course.
I noticed that dope quality increase. Is it because you use a new mixer now?
Yep.
What a fucking level up. Shit. All right, small channels. You're a small channel. I'm a small channel. We're all fucking small channels here till someday. Someday. Okay, so I consider small channels to be someone in the less than 20,000 subs bracket. People who are not generally as much exposed, who are still fighting the odds of a lot of fresh competition, and every single day someone cuts the slack and gets into the real business. Failure and success is all psychological, so being a small channel isn't a bad thing. It all depends on the individual person. There's people who can manage the stress of having millions of edgelords on their back better than others, but you just gotta learn not to give a fuck and keep making personal progress. While big channels compete against big channels, small channels have more to deal with. They have more metrics to hit, but it's more realistic if they just do it for fun, and that's a little bit of good advice I can give right now. Over the past few years, I have seen more channels flourish from zero to hero status quite quickly. It seems like being an asshole can get you somewhere, but they are never cautious of the toxic people they attract. The manual is pretty much written automatically as we move further, but since the audience consists of just anyone, it can get messy. People don't realize how much being a small channel can be a blessing, that slow or honest growth is an actual better way. And that's hard work and perseverance can really pay off in the long run than the quick and easy way. Yeah, there is a struggle because we all want to get paid, but nonetheless, a beautiful struggle can be created instead. Here comes about the topic of YouTube's new monetization rules. You need at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time over the past year to acquire the ability to do so. When it comes to this new rule, I'm very 50-50 towards it. Maybe 75-25 in favor of it. I know there is no upside to it on paper, but if you can really tap into the obstacle, you can really improve on your content. Let's say you were fine with what you had, 100 subs, 1,000 views a month, but then you're like, I gotta work harder now. Now that you have to work harder, that 1 year where you weren't even trying that much, you finally wake the fuck up and actually do better. That's what metrics do to you. They help you tap into the hidden potential. Maybe tapping into that potential will even help you make more connections to get paid more. Of course, that's my opinion, but a good opinion because a lot of people are wired to do minimal effort for highest profits. The only community I can really feel for now is the animation community, where it can take weeks of work to produce like a 2 or 3 minute video. I can understand them. Just stop being lazy for a few bucks, and if you're in the animation community, find other ways to promote your channel. Learn to use social media and build a collaborative channel to help. There are ways. The only change I can ask for is for them to change the 4,000 hours watch time, because that's almost half a year worth of watch time. 2,000 sounds more realistic. That's my input. I'm going to give some advice later on in the show, so stay tuned. Back to you, Nero.
Awesome. Thank you once again, Cryptic Stevie, for being on the show. Good guy, great guy, and he's got we'll get back to what he has to say later, because he's definitely got more to say. So the way I'm going to be doing it on this episode, as far as the music, as you probably have noticed already, I'm just going to be having the music continuously playing in the background. And if you hear something you like in the background, head downstairs to the description below, because I will have the playlist listed, as well as links on how to reach the producers or whoever had created the song. So yeah, so let's just move right on into our next guest speaker, Beatmaster A.C. Hey Beat, you're on the show. Thanks for being on once again. So what are your thoughts on small channels on YouTube?
Hey Nero, what's up? Thanks for letting me part of the LoDown again. Much appreciated.
Of course.
So, small channels, huh? Well, I have some thoughts about that interesting topic. When is a channel be considered small or big? By the amount of subs? By the amount of views? Or maybe even both? Of course, that word small is a very stretchable word, because everyone has a different view on that.
Right.
I can only talk from my perspective. For me, if my channel one day will reach 100,000 subs with at least 10,000 views per video, I will stop considering my channel small. Now, how can small channels help each other to grow? The most common thing were shoutouts. It was quite a thing back in the mid-late 2000s. Sadly, nowadays you barely see or hear shoutouts anymore. Another point to help smaller channels to grow is to do collaborations and podcasts or creating a community. It takes time, but it works out in the long run.
Absolutely.
And my little success story of my channel grew when I started to be on different podcasts and started to make gaming live streams aside from my other usual content. Also a little bit of content sharing on different social media platforms. That's just a small boost, but it was okay. I consider it a good grow. Now, my advice to a newcomer who wants to create content on YouTube.
Ah, yes, the good stuff.
First off, be yourself. Be honest, be nice, take your time, and most importantly, have fun at doing what you're doing. Second, don't do stuff that you don't like to do, just because it's mainstream at the moment. Mainstream stuff comes and goes. Just do what you really like. Third, don't try to get attention at all costs, and also do not aggressively advertise your content and channel every time on every comment section. It will easily backfire.
Yep.
Fourth, do not beg for likes, shares and subs in your videos. It also can give a bad impression. If people are interested in your content, they will like, share and sub by their own. Point 5, get in touch with your subs and viewers. Reply to them, talk to them, discuss with them. It keeps your video alive to a certain extent. Also, the viewer appreciates your interest in him. He will be thinking, oh wow, this guy is actually responding to me. We are talking. He is mentioning me in his video. It's beneficial. So take your time and be in touch with your community. 6, ignore the dislikes, the haters and the trolls. Don't give them any attention. Keep doing your thing and it will be just fine. And my last point, be patient. Your channel won't explode in subs and views in a matter of days, weeks or months. Don't stress yourself. You will reach your goals eventually. Just take your time. So those are my thoughts about small channels. Back to you, Nero, and God bless.
Thank you once again, Beatmaster. It's always a pleasure having you on, and if things worked out correctly, if I queued this up correctly, we should have been listening to another one of your tracks. It was actually one of a recent remix that he had done it was actually a remix of a track that was on the last LoDown, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. But anyways, I digress. So let's actually just keep it rolling. Let's talk to our next guest speaker. Good buddy of mine, another friend of the show who's been on here quite a few times, Indie Timmy. So let's see. Hey, Timmy, you're on the show. So give us the lowdown on small channels.
Thanks as always for having me on here, Nero. It's always a lot of fun. But a few things I want to say and what I think about small channels is, first of all, the amount of subs. Honestly, what I feel a small channel is probably under 100 subscribers, because I don't feel like people understand the amount of people 100 people can be. Like 100 people can fill an entire I don't know, City Hall or something. So honestly, under 100 subscribers is what I'd consider a small channel. And then once you reach that, I don't know, 100, 500 subscriber count, you're kind of a bigger-ish channel. Obviously, you know, it's not like 1 million subscribers or something, but it's still, in a lot of people's eyes, it's pretty big. That's usually the part where you get spams of giving a shout out or something. So that's honestly what I think. And honestly, I do think small channels do have a place here on YouTube. They will always have a place on YouTube. People are always saying YouTube's trying to push them out, but there's just so... The sheer number of people that are on YouTube posting videos every single day is insane. So right. Honestly, it's probably hard for them to pay attention to every single person on YouTube. And admittedly, it's probably easier for them to pay attention to the bigger people. It's just easier for them because, again, the amount of people that are on this freaking site is amazing. Like, YouTube is one of the biggest websites on the internet, so it's just easier for them. But I do still feel like smaller channels have a place on YouTube. Honestly, a way I can think that small channels can better themselves is collabs. And if you're not the kind of channel that can do collabs, honestly, advice. But for me, doing collaborations and helping each other learn off from each other, that's honestly how I think they can help each other. Like, I've been doing more collabs lately, and it's a lot of fun, and I've learned quite a few things from doing it. So that's honestly one way I can think small channels can help each other. And advice that I would give to small channels, honestly, just keep to the grind. A lot of people go to YouTube expecting it to be a quick thing. Yeah. Unless you are completely original, something that no one has ever seen, just keep to the grind. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while to get that audience you want. Just keep pushing for the grind. Keep uploading. Keep bettering yourself. Always look for ways to better your content and your quality. I'm always looking for ways to better my audio quality. So always look for ways to better your quality and your content. Always keep grinding. Always keep pushing those videos out, because honestly, like I said, the audience is not going to come as quickly as you're hoping unless you're completely original, something no one has ever seen before. So keep at it, don't give up, and eventually you'll get that audience that you want, and you'll have people behind you that'll just have your back.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Indie Timmy, for being on the LoDown once again. And, well, as you guys heard, Beatmaster and Indie Timmy started getting into the advice segment of the show already. So, yeah, let's just wrap it up with Cryptic Stevie, because he had some tips. I got him back on the line. He had some tips on how to grow your channel. So, hey, Cryptics, welcome back. And so, what are some pro tips you can offer to all the folks out there?
All right, I'm gonna give you all some advice on how to level up your channel. I've had a lot of videos hit over 100 views, and one that was close to hitting 2,000. Nice. I believe I have some good experience in how it works. First of all, with the most basics, you definitely need a good mic with a pop filter windshield. Having both can provide the best results depending on the mic, but you truly just need a pop filter. But unless you're gonna be speaking like up close to the mic, you need a windshield. Right. Yeah. Yep. Through Reddit feedback that I have received, I can guarantee you clicking, clipping, and popping, leave all that shit to when you eat a bowl of Snap, Crackle, and Pop cereal. Me personally, I'm using the Focusrite Scarlett and the Rode NTK. You just don't want to use your laptop mic, period. Nope. Guarantee that your viewer retention will be low, and YouTube will automatically put that in the garbage tier, even if you do get a good amount of viewers through clickbait thumbnails. I believe how it works is that videos within the same topic get pushed down, while videos with good retention get pushed up. Retention is how long a viewer stays to watch your video or better to listen to you, because shitty mics are not going to get you far unless from the future and your voice has some automatically fix everything plugin and you're a fucking cyborg from the future 2025. Let me know how that is. Alright, second, tag properly. You can use TubeBuddy or vidIQ to help you with that, though me personally, I use TubeBuddy. Both also helps with other things. Tagging is like if a girl wrote down that you're considered an asshole in her diary, that prompts her to stay away from your smelly ass. No. Tagging is what helps people search for your content. You need to really put so much thought on it, even though it does sound simple. You can't just type down quote unquote white male, comma, 1080p, comma, funny, or some general shit like that. You need to be very specific in order to separate yourself from others. Will help me, for example, if I did gameplay, I would put the name of the chapter, level, the guns and character I use, the playstyle like stealth, sniping, speed run, the difficulty, the patch number if it's a multiplayer game, and etc. It even helps to add in your GPU and CPU if you're on PC, in case someone searches for how it runs on it, and they might enjoy your commentary. Stay and subscribe. The title is foremost more important. It's what gets searched for before the tags, so try to make the title look a bit like tags. Third, you need eye-catching titles and thumbnails. These two plus proper tagging contributes to SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. Marketing is very important aspect that greedy publishers like EA put a lot of dollars into, rather than quality assurance. Titles in the question format are the most positive in gaining views due to people searching for questions, especially with Google Assistant on the rise. Plus, it's a psychological thing. You end up cementing the question into the person. How does it work? Will Google search on marketing psychology help you a bit better?
Boom.
See, that makes you want to do some research. Just try your best typing an eye-catching title based on the topic. For thumbnails, that is going to be your visual marketing. Learn how to use Photoshop, or if you can't afford or don't feel like cutting your arm and attaching a hook, you can use GIMP, that's spelled GIMP, which I personally use. Creo is another good free open source alternative, more similar to Photoshop. You want to add a lot of color into your thumbnails. That's what works best. Bright, vibrant colors work well. Using a border gives you bonus points and earns you a good job star sticker. Yay.
Woohoo.
You just want to have your thumbnail pop out like it wants to slap you across the face for you to click on it. That's pretty much all the info I can share. Gotta let Nero chime back in, but I've been having fun being on this amazingly great show. Thanks for giving me a platform. I have a YouTube channel that I'm going to reboot soon, so you can check me out on that. Back to you, Nero.
Awesome. Thank you once again, Cryptics, for coming back on and just sharing those little nuggets of wisdom. So he actually took a lot of the words out of my mouth that I was going to say, because he touched on some very important things that not a lot of people necessarily think about when it comes to small channels. But before I get into that, I just kind of wanted to wrap all of this up with my final thoughts, because we're kind of running low on time. So let's hear my version of the lowdown on small channels. So one thing that I found very, very, very interesting was that just with between Beatmaster, Cryptics, and Indie Timmy himself, they all had different numbers as far as like what differentiates a small channel from a large channel. So my answer to that question, what differentiates a small channel from a large channel, it's really up to you as either the viewer or as the content creator or the owner of the channel, because that also kind of rolls into another thing that had been mentioned, which is goals and goal setting and benchmarks and analytics, stuff like that. I believe Cryptics touched on that quite significantly as far as, search priority, search engine optimization. There's a lot of things that go into how visible your video is on YouTube. Now, when I say visible, I don't mean like, oh, I can see your video, it's playing in front of my eyes. When I say visibility, I mean how visible is it to search engines? How visible is it to, not just the YouTube search engine, but also the Google search engine? Are you posting your content just on YouTube, or are you posting your content on YouTube and then taking that video and embedding it on a blog post on your blog, where you also blog the other videos on your YouTube channel? Because guess what? That means your video is now existing on YouTube, and it's also existing on the blog. So that will create more places for the search engine to be like, hey, there's this video here, and there's this video also that's been embedded here. So it's going to increase your ranking without necessarily being spammy or, continuously, posting the same link, spamming the same link over and over and over again. So there's a really thin line when it comes to being effectively marketing your video and your content, and then just being kind of a spammy, just annoying person. So one thing I can definitely tell you that you shouldn't do as a small channel is, when you're promoting your videos, don't over promote your videos. You want to just put them out there, and if somebody comes across it, and if they see it, and if they like it, they'll continue watching your content. Now, if you're somebody who regularly DMs links to people you know and be like, hey, watch this video. Hey, watch this video. Hey, watch this video. Guess what that person is going to say after a while? Screw this guy. He just keeps spamming me with video links. Same with your social media. When you're on Twitter, a very, very, very common thing that I see, especially with newer and fresher, younger YouTubers, is they'll tweet their video and then they'll tag as many people as they possibly can in this tweet. Now, I can tell you, for me, on a personal level, I find that absolutely obnoxious. Don't do that. If you do that, I'm going to mute the conversation and I'm not going to watch your video. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there who feel the same way I do. So you don't want to annoy your potential audience, because you're just basically just cutting them off before they even have a chance to view your content. You don't want to have your first impression of them be, oh, that's that annoying guy who spams all these links. I mean, there's just so much more stuff I can get into, but again, we're running out of time, so I might have to actually just spill this over into a ramble. I might just, really the LoDown, this version of the LoDown anyways, this kind of format is more for giving a platform to you guys out there. So, I did get some feedback on the LoDown saying that you guys would like to hear more of my thoughts. However, if I were to provide my thoughts, I could probably ramble on for another 20 minutes or so, just because I have a lot of information in my head. So I'm actually, I'm actually going to start to wrap this up. However, I will be working on a follow-up companion to this. And here's the thing about the LoDown. It's many different things. So you're going to see one episode of the LoDown that is like this. You may see another episode of the LoDown that is just me talking to you, giving you guys advice, or just talking about my personal experience with things. You might even see another episode of the LoDown that is a game preview or a game review or something like that. So that's kind of what the LoDown is. It's kind of this just sort of, it doesn't have a solid form. And I kind of prefer it that way, because it is a platform in which I can reconfigure it and move it to be modular and just have it kind of be whatever I need it to be in the moment, whenever. So again, just wrapping it up here, and I'm going to be coming out with another video to follow up with this, so you guys can just sort of digest all the information that has been just flooded into your ears and your brains. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back to, also my voice is kind of starting to go after talking for so long for extended periods of time. It starts to wear on your voice, so I gotta take care of these vocal cords, because they, I'd be lying if I said that they bring home the bacon, because they don't. But still, it's a very valuable asset of mine as far as I'm concerned. So anyways, I'm starting to ramble. Once again, I'm going to save that for the next video. So that is going to be it for this episode of the LoDown, you guys. If you are interested in being on the next episode, please join up on my Discord channel. There will be a link in the description below. You can check out the LoDown text chat channel, and there will be announcements and stuff like that as far as when the next subject will be due, as far as submissions, that and all that good stuff. So before I ramble anymore, I'm going to get out of here. So until we meet again, you guys, take care of yourselves and each other. Do something heroic today, game on, and demand something better out of life. This is NeroTheHero signing out. Peace.